All right, let's dive in. Today, we are tackling a massive challenge, maybe the biggest challenge for any educator. How do you turn a classroom of disinterested students into one that's buzzing with genuine engagement? We're going to break down some amazing practical strategies from the book, The New Art and Science of Teaching. Let's do this.
I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? You've prepped this amazing lesson, you're excited about it, and you look out at your students and you get, well, you get nothing, just a sea of blank faces. It is so frustrating. But the good news is there are real concrete ways to turn that ship around. And this right here, this is the goal. This is what we're aiming for. See, we're not just looking for students to be quiet and, do what they're told. Real engagement is active. It's about lighting a fire, sparking their curiosity, and getting them to feel genuinely energized and inspired by what they're learning. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the why behind it all, something called intrinsic motivation. Then we're going to get into two powerful toolkits, one for personal growth and one for creating deeper connections. And finally, we'll talk about how to actually put this stuff into practice. Okay, so let's start with the absolute foundation of all this. Before we can jump into the how, we have to get a handle on the why. And that why is the engine that drives every bit of real engagement, intrinsic motivation. This is really the heart of the matter.
So, what is intrinsic motivation? Well, here's the crucial thing. It's not about the grades or the stickers or the pizza parties. It's that drive that comes from inside a person to do something just because it's interesting or it's challenging or it just feels good to do. And all the research shows this kind of motivation is way more powerful and lasts so much longer than any external reward we could ever offer. Now, this is a huge piece of the puzzle. This idea of a growth mindset. It's a total game changer. Think about it. Students with a growth mindset believe that intelligence isn't some fixed thing you're born with. It's a skill you can build. So when things get hard, they dig in. Compare that to a fixed mindset where a student thinks, I'm either good at this or I'm not. What happens when they face a challenge? They avoid it or they just give up. Fostering that growth mindset is absolutely fundamental. Okay, so that brings us to our very first toolkit of strategies. These are all designed to build up that sense of personal growth, to help students tap into their own inner motivation by really focusing on their own amazing potential in their future. So the source material lays out four key strategies here. You've got academic goal setting, actively working on that growth mindset we just talked about, something called possible selves activities, and giving students the space for personal projects. Let's dig into a really creative example from that list. This whole idea of possible selves is just fantastic. It is all about helping students actually picture who they could become. I mean, look at these activities. Accomplishment introductions, how cool is that? A student who loves to write introduces herself as Christina Rowling. Right away, that connects her dream to something real. Or having them interview people in the community with jobs they find interesting. These aren't just make-believe exercises. They make the future feel real, tangible, and totally achievable. All right, now for our second toolkit. Personal growth is critical, no doubt, but another incredibly powerful motivator is connecting to something that's bigger than you. These next strategies are all about helping students look outward, to their community and to the world around them. And here we have four more really powerful ideas. Altruism projects where students serve others, the simple but profound act of keeping gratitude journals, bringing mindfulness into the classroom, and using inspirational media. Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. Altruism projects are amazing because they give students a deep sense of purpose and agency. The key word here is ownership. When students are the ones brainstorming, planning, and then actually doing a project to help their community, whether it's tutoring or cleaning up a park, they're learning so much more than just the subject matter. They're learning that their actions matter. They're learning they can make a real difference. So we have all these great strategies and toolkits, but how can you actually tell if they're working? The final piece of this puzzle is knowing what success really looks like when you see it in your classroom. And this is the payoff. This is what you're looking for. When these strategies are clicking, you will see real, tangible changes. Your students will start setting their own goals. They'll be engaging with their community. You'll see them completely invested in projects they've designed themselves. And maybe the best sign of all, you'll actually hear them say that your class is motivating or inspiring. So that brings us to the end, and I want to leave you with a question. A challenge, really. Think about all the ideas we've covered. from growth mindsets to altruism projects. Which one of these sparks something for you? Which one could you adapt, even in a small way, and try in your classroom tomorrow?